Welcome everyone to the MMOs.com podcast. This is episode 57 here, and this is Altai, joined this week by...
Omer?
Matt?
Toby?
Yep, we have a new guest, Tubby. He's filling in for both Gumby and for Shu this week, so it's a 2-for-1, 1-for-2 deal right there.
He's not a new guest. We did have him for the previous, an older Sunday Funday where we played Energy Heroes that Matt recommended that ruined Sean's computer.
Maybe I don't remember that time correctly. I don't think we played Energy Heroes.
We did try to
We
play
tried
Energy
to
Heroes.
play Energy Heroes.
We opened it.
We opened it, yeah. The game was running, we couldn't get into a game.
We got all the way to a loading screen. Like that's like 80% of a game, really.
That qualifies as playing it. If you got to the loading screen, all right, you're there. When the game loads, you're done. You beat the game when the game loads.
I loved what I saw. Personally, like, if I had to rate just on what I saw, I'd give it 9 out of 10. But, like...
I'm pre-ordering the Legendary Founders Pack with over $1,000. I'm game, boys. I'm game.
But that game was French, right? So this tells me something. At least the Chinese, when they try to rip off a game, they rip off a game. The French, when they try, they fail.
Was it trying to rip anything off?
Dude.
It looked exactly like Overwatch.
No. You want to talk exactly like
Are
Overwatch.
You kidding me?
You want to look exactly
Oh my
like Overwatch.
God.
Did you see Legend of Titan, Altai?
Erhan, that did not look anything like Overwatch.
Yeah, I don't see...
Are you guys kidding me?
Some of the characters...
Alright, guys, boys. We're going to go to the website here on...
They both had guns, so
They,
like...
they were both video games.
Alright, heads
Yep.
up, guys. Heads up, guys. Watch this right. Look, right here.
Alright,
We
we're
got Farah. Alright, we got the little... Look at this. The same stuff right here. We got the Zenyatta girl. This game is exactly like Overwatch.
Alright, it's a hero game. There are heroes. I don't see, like, where's Farah? It's
The
like
the cat lady.
Where they both have rocket launchers, but she doesn't have, like, a jetpack.
And she's like
Listen,
a Cyclops or something.
Listen.
I'm listening.
I'm
Alright,
listening.
watch
Give
this
it to us.
gameplay. This is Overwatch right here, boys. Anyway, that's my opinion. It kind of looked like Overwatch to me. Except obviously a lot worse. Let me just preface
Your
it.
opinion is wrong.
Alright.
All right. Well, now that we brought this up, we have to bring up some piece of news. I was gonna bring some discussion, but first let's go talk about Legend of Titan because Altai just brought up a game that looks like Overwatch. I'm sure by now most of you have heard of Legend of Titan. It's an actual Chinese ripoff of Overwatch. I'm gonna go ahead and link this to you. You can put on the podcast in a moment. But it's a mobile ripoff, so at least they copied the game straight up. But at least they have the decency to release it on mobile instead of on PC, so it's not competing in the same market. And it's developed by the renowned Jean Vulcan Network Technology Company, all right? If you're a Vulcan Network Technology Company, that sounds pretty serious business, all right?
So what is this? This is a mobile Overwatch?
Yeah, mobile, it's Legend of Titan. Don't you dare compare it to Overwatch, all right? It's a completely different game.
Did you guys hear their new excuse? Their new excuse is that it was a tech demo for browser technology. And I'm
What?
like, they clearly in the presentation said that it was for mobile. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're trying to backpedal because Blizzard's lawyers are so far up their ass, it's absurd. At least, like, when you look at Pharah in here, it's a little bit different. But if you look at Widowmaker, it's literally just copy-pasted.
Bastion
Yeah.
only looks different in tank form.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, they reskinned some
Reinhardt
models,
looks
and
the
then-
same.
No,
you tell me
Reinhardt has an
Tracers?
axe.
Toby, have you seen this video yet?
No, this is a quality game, though.
This looks like 100% original,
Well,
don't you think?
honestly, for mobile, it doesn't look that bad. Like if you want a mobile Overwatch, like you could do a lot worse than this.
I don't think that's actually running on mobile though. Like if you
Oh.
look at it, there are no mobile interface elements like the
But
joysticks.
there are no interface elements, are there?
No,
Yeah,
it's
there
not-
are.
There were a few of the scenes.
But when I'm looking at this, like besides the fact that it's a shameless Overwatch clone, right? It's like insulting and hilariously at the same time. But what I see is like a very janky looking game. It doesn't look like it's running fluid. I think one of the strongest aspects of Overwatch is how remarkably smooth it ran.
Well, remember it's mobile. Like
It looks so bad when you see that like Pharah just floating around like on the ground and the Reaper shooting her.
I don't know,
Reaper
dude.
also like reloads by throwing his guns on the ground.
How original.
Yeah, I wonder what they thought of that.
Guys, this game is entirely original. Don't you dare criticize the innovative Chinese people.
I'm sure you guys all heard, but I guess it's worth re-saying in case anyone out there hasn't. But Overwatch is actually the remnants, or what was supposed to be Titan, Blizzard's other MMORPG project. After a while, it got canceled a few times, and
Oh my
Overwatch,
God, Legend of Titan.
Legend of Titan.
Oh, that's where the name comes from.
Oh.
Matt, you just discovered it. Oh, that makes sense. Oh man, it's all coming together now. And it was made by some of the disgruntled employees that were fired over that disaster, and they formed Legend of Titan at the Junjuan Vulcan Network Technology Company over in China.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
But how is it that an MMORPG turned into this? I feel like that doesn't really make sense.
But I think the world here has a lot more story like development than is usual for a shooter. You know,
Oh,
like
that
all
makes
those.
sense.
So
Yeah.
it was supposed to be, and also Titan was supposed to be a sci-fi, like cartoonish, like MMORPG. So I think they just reuse a lot of like the lore and the world or whatever.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I want to talk more about Overwatch, but let's pivot for a second because it's good to start with something MMORPG related too. Plus, it creates a discussion here. And after all, of course, it is the MMOs.com podcast. I think the closed beta too for Hero Wars began recently.
Today.
And today, exactly. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you guys played it yet, but it's a game that has that same setup that a lot of other MMORPGs have, like Vindictus or Dragon's Nest, where you have almost all of the actual gameplay taking place in instance zones. So you click on a map, like an instance area, and then you wait for people to join the party and you start the mission. How do you guys feel about that setup? I personally think it's kind of lazy design. It can still be fun, but like a lot of games have done it now. Like there's literally a whole genre of games. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't think it's lazy. I think it's played out, is what I'd say, but I don't think it's lazy.
You don't think that's lazy? It's
No.
like,
It's
how is
like-
that a more RPG though? Like,
Well, I don't think it's supposed to be like an MMORPG like that. I think it's supposed to be like okay, so if you take a game like Diablo and you say that all of the content is basically in dungeons, is that lazy because it's all in dungeons rather than out in the overworld?
no, but if the whole game feels like almost like sometimes there's mobile games where you finish one level, you get 1 to 3 stars, you go to the next level. Because honestly, all the gameplay in games like Hero Wars feels so linear. You know, you're going from like compare this to a game like Black Desert, which is the open world experience. You're going from like one map to the next map to the next map to the next map. It just feels like you're like there's no sense of exploration. A lot of those elements of MMORPGs are missing.
All right.
I think
Even
it's
like
supposed
questing
to
doesn't
be.
feel persistent.
I don't think it's supposed to feel persistent. I think it's supposed to be completely different.
Is
I
there an
agree.
overworld? Is there like a city that's
There's a
There's
city, yeah.
There is a persistent hub. Yes.
Okay, so it's like Vindictus, which was I think
Yeah,
a
that's
pretty
what I
good,
said.
yeah, it was a solid game. So yeah, it can work.
It can be a good
And-
game, but I feel like it's going to turn a lot of people off.
And also, I feel like a lot of people aren't going to care if the gameplay is good.
I think it's
But,
easier. I don't know how big the studio is behind Hero Wars, but it's definitely easier to pull that off and to give the game a sense of scale without having to make a huge persistent world. So I mean, from like you say it's lazy, but I mean if you're a small studio, I think it's better to do that than try for something that you just can't pull off. So that's my.
Tubby, can you guess? Can you guess what character I played in Hero Wars?
The Lolly?
Yes.
Wow. That was
I-
a shocker.
I mean, I also think it's going to help that Hero Wars has a really interesting story and world behind it. I mean, it's
Yeah, I mean-
completely different.
I mean, there is a story, and I didn't pay attention to it yet because I mean, I was doing my first video, so I didn't want to spend time reading it. But I'll take a look at it. Somebody also mentioned Rusty Hearts, DFOs, other examples that kind of did the same thing. And clearly it works. Literally the most successful MMORPG in the world right now in terms of player base and revenue is Dungeon Fighter Online because of its massive popularity in China. And it's the same exact formula. You know, you have the persistent towns and then all the levels you can do in various difficulties. It's just that it feels like those games are really just so similar to each other. Like, you know, we make fun of these Korean games all being knockoffs of each other, but like you have the 3 difficulties, you have the score at the end. Critique Online is a good example too. You have like you get a reward at the end based on like you get an S grade, you know, A grade, whatever, and you get 1 of 3 random prizes. Lunia did the same thing as well. There's just so many games like it. I just feel like at this point, it's some of the late. I don't know. I don't, it can still be fun. Again, don't get me wrong, but it just feels like it barely feels like an MMORPG.
I think you're confusing lazy with played out, though. I still think
Played
that
out,
that's
sure,
what's going
played
on.
out.
Also, I don't like the word lazy because again, how big is a studio? Like, is it? It's
Yeah,
not
sure.
easy to pull off a big world. Well, I mean, there's
You're
so many
right, you're
empty,
right.
persistent worlds.
And on that point, Hero Wars was fun, by the way, in the closed beta. So I don't want to knock Hero Wars. I just use it as an example. Would you guys be open to playing a game like this? 'Cause I know a lot of people say if it has like a world like this, some people just won't play it. That was a big complaint of Skyforge too. They said, you know what, it's not persistent. I don't want to play it.
I've played plenty of games like
no,
this.
I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, look at Diablo 3. It's basically staged games and staged warps or whatever they're called, the portals.
I think the first game that did this was it Guild Wars 1 that had, but Guild Wars 1 it had the instance areas because somebody brought up in the chat. It was real fiddly, and you had mostly instance content, but it wasn't so structured the way DFO, Hero Wars.
Yeah, that's true. The whole world was big. Like you could just explore like outside, even if you were by yourself.
These are just stages. It's like people made fun of Final Fantasy 14 for being a hallway simulator, and this you're just beating levels.
I still think it's just a different crowd. I don't think it's a lazy versus not lazy thing. I think it's just different.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're all okay with it.
Back to Overwatch. Back to Overwatch.
Back to Overwatch. Fine.
All right. Big news this week for me, in my opinion, biggest news I found was that for a brief second in Korea.
Not brief second. Even now, even as of this moment, I give
you
the link. Yep.
Okay, I'll put it up. But okay, basically, Overwatch surpassed League of Legends in Korea in terms of players at the cyber cafes called PC Bangs, and so we'll bring up to some live stats right here. This site tracks this nonsense. So Overwatch is sitting right now at 30.18% of players, while League of Legends is at 28.59%. And this is the first time a game is unseated League of Legends in like 5 years or something.
4 years.
4 years. Right?
It's rumored though that you can play Overwatch for free at PC Bangs.
Okay, I believe that, but still, you got to give it some credit having that massive market share. Like no other game has even come close to dinging League of Legends in Korea. Dinging.
By free, do you mean like they don't have to pay to be at the PC Bang, or they don't have to pay for the game?
They don't have to pay for the game. They just log in with their.
But they have to pay.
That's not fair. That's a different market in Korea.
No, that's how PC Bangs always do.
Yeah.
Like every game's like that. So it's not really that different. Like in League and PC Bangs in League, you get every champion for free.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh wow! I'm surprised. I've played League so long and I didn't know that.
Oh, then never mind. I thought it was something different.
Wow,
yeah, I mean,
they're killing
it'd be kind of stupid to have to pay for a retail game on someone else's computer. Like, it doesn't make so.
Yeah, that part I understood, but I didn't know you got every champion for free if you play on a PC Bang.
And you also get IP boosts. You get a bunch of like PC Bangs. They market it by giving like a bunch of stuff away for free. Well, not for free. Like they give you a bunch of bonuses that you can only like PC Bang exclusives. So that's like a big drawing point for a lot of people in Korea.
What do you feel about? How do you feel about PC Bangs? I feel like it'd be really cool to have them in the West, like because it makes gaming more social.
Yeah,
I think the West is too big.
Yeah, you say that, Omar, but there's actually a LAN cafe near us, and we've been there once, and we didn't even like sit down. We just like walked through and then walked out.
The problem is it's the culture, because like it's kind of awkward here to go there and play, but like
what?
I think it'd be really cool to live in a society where it's just the norm. You know,
there were people there. They were sitting. What are you talking about?
No, there was like 2 people there.
Well,
again,
we went there like at noon or something, like on a weekday.
But again, if we lived in South Korea, for example, it'd be like the norm. You know, you go there, you hang out with your friends. I think it'd be a much more social experience.
Don't most people do that though because they don't have computers that can play these games?
South Korea is a rich country, though. At this
Well,
point,
rich doesn't
like
mean
the culture's established.
Well, look at
Rich
Japan.
doesn't mean they have a computer.
Yeah. Doesn't mean they have computers, and they don't have the room too. A lot of Asian rooms and houses are smaller.
They can't be the reason.
Why? It could.
Like, their houses are too small to fit a computer. Come on, like, are they all like hoarders? Like, history channels hoarders? Come on. No, I think the culture. Okay, you could be right when like gaming first happened in Korea that they were poor like China, which is why LAN cafes took off. But the reason I think it stuck is because it became culturally, accepted in the norm.
Yeah, PC Bangs are huge over there now.
I don't think any of those people interact though. I'm pretty sure they live in their own little worlds at the computer. That's how it would be here, at least.
A lot of people will also just go with their friends. So like they'll be like them and 4 other friends, and they'll like queue up a league together, and they'll just play beside each other, kind of deal.
But you'd also like you would have to meet some people there too. Like you'd be playing like Maple Story or something, but some other guys playing too. And you talk, like, or maybe a more obscure game, and you'd be like, hey, you play that game too, and then they talk. I think it would create more interesting social interaction. Which
I think you're over judging people's willingness.
Do you actually think that would happen?
I don't think that would happen at all. I wouldn't talk to anyone I don't go there with. I
think this is the only time I've heard Omer be an idealist.
Look, I'm saying it would happen sometimes. Okay, it'd be cool.
Only if there's like a mutual friend between your group and like their group.
Do we need to find you more friends?
No, what's funny too? We talk about PC Bang, people socializing. Erhan and I watched a documentary about a year ago about like some poor people in South Korea, and they would actually go to LAN cafes just to go to sleep there because it was cheaper than a hotel. And they go to
That was Japan. That was
LAN
Japan. That
cafe.
was Japan.
It was Japan, not Korea. My bad. So they go to like a PC cafe there, and they go to sleep.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm not kidding. Yeah, it's
Apparently, LAN
cheaper.
cafes in Japan are actually just like daily motels for like the poor or underemployed men in Japan.
There was a news story that came out like a year ago about some like 12-year-old or 14-year-old who ran away from home and lived at a LAN cafe for like 3 years. Just so I don't live there.
LAN cafe made some
He,
good money
he,
off
he
them.
grinds in WoW for WoW gold to sell to make up his daily his daily costs.
What does he eat though?
I mean, they have food there.
They have food there, yeah.
Is it like movie theater food or it can't be? Otherwise
No,
one
no,
would
it's
buy
cheap.
it.
It's just like ramen and shit.
Yeah, it's just-
I think you're over. Like, it's not like America. They're really rundown places, like those LAN cafes in Japan.
In Japan, I feel like in South Korea that it can't be run down because a lot of people use it for gaming.
I don't
That
know.
doesn't mean anything.
All right, well, continue the Overwatch thing. I mean, Overwatch is at a pretty healthy margin right now ahead. Obviously, I don't think anyone predicts that it's going to stay there for like the next couple of years. No one's saying it's dethroned League of Legends. It just right now it's more popular, and that's newsworthy. But let's talk a little bit of Overwatch because we've
All right,
all
here.
played Overwatch.
There's a PC bang.
Let's take a look at this PC
That's
bang.
a typical PC bang. That's what it says.
Did you Google typical PC bang?
No, I googled South Korea PC bang,
No, this
It
looks
actually
nice.
looks-
This looks
it
really
looks
nice.
nice.
Yeah, this looks really nice.
and then here's
like how-
another one.
Do you like how they have those screens between each other? It's like the guy next to you is watching porn. You're definitely gonna notice.
It's not even. Yeah, it's not even like blocked. It's just like clear
It's just
plastic.
like a glass. Like why even have that if it's not gonna be like fully blocked off?
I guess so people don't hit each other.
Hmm.
They don't hit each other. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah,
hit-
I don't know. Positing.
So they're gonna just punch the guy next to
No,
them?
like no, they don't like lean their arm over or something on their side.
Okay. I
Yeah.
thought like they're gonna ridge and hit the guy
No,
next to them.
like yeah, or if you have like you're moving your keyboard and your mouse around too much, you don't just like hit the guy next to you.
All right, that's fair.
And I
Yeah.
think that's just a clear divider.
It looks really cool though.
Yeah, those look nice.
I mean, they look nicer than I expected. I'll say that, but they look crowded as fuck.
They look really,
Yeah, I-
really tightly
I would
packed.
hang out there.
You
Yeah,
would
but,
you would not hang out there.
Okay, what percent of people that go there are girls? You think?
0.
Girls?
Okay, do you see any girls in both of these either of these pictures? I don't. So, does
You're
that
right.
answer your question?
That does answer my question.
Yeah, it's the golden rule. There's no girls on the internet, dude.
Yeah, that's true. Unless they're naked on porn sites, that's it.
Tubby would know because he pretended to be a girl for 3 years.
Wow. Is this true?
Don't reveal a secret so quickly.
Oh, how am I gonna scam people for the WoW gold if you tell everyone my secret?
And then I'm pretty sure Alta and I both pretend to be girls as well to take advantage
Look.
of people in games.
Come on, man. WoW Gold, you're still going after WoW Gold. It's supposed to be Zenny. You need the Zenny.
In Korea, you gotta rock that Zenny.
All right, quick question
No.
about Overwatch, guys. We all have it. We've all played it. I remember everyone I knew playing it, like when it first came out for the first week or two. But I've seen personally a major attrition rate among the people I know playing.
Mhm.
Have you guys observed that as well? And do you think it's got legs? Like in like 6 months from now, people be playing this game like for hours a day?
I think it really depends on how they do the ranked. If they do the ranked well, I can see it doing really well. But if they
Mhm.
screw up the ranked, I can see people just not wanting to play.
I think that makes sense because I think a lot of people ranked is a big deal for them. Even if like a lot for League of Legends, I think a lot of people play ranked. Like even a lot of casuals that are bronze and silver. That's such a big ranked community that like it creates status in the game and it makes people play and keep coming back. Like for me, I don't play normal games in League of Legends anymore. I haven't for at least a couple years. Like I play League just to play ranked. It's more serious. I want to climb the ladder. And for Overwatch, I played I would say a shit ton, at least 40 hours worth of normal games because there was no rank. And I'm taking a break because why play outside of ranked at this point? If ranked is good, it can keep you coming back, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't understand what you're saying if ranked is good. Like,
If you do the ladder poorly, like, I don't know, a really basic example would be, like, if they made it so it's more of a grind than a skill-based thing, so, like, I forget what game it was, but there was a game where basically every time you won, you gained rating. Every time you lost, you didn't lose rating. So it's like basically whoever played more was higher rated kind of deal.
Oh,
that
that's
sounds like an awful ranking system.
Yeah, so I mean, like, if they do something awful like that, I could see it doing like.
They did that for
Overwatch.
Overwatch ranked in the first alpha when it was friends and family, and people said it wasn't hardcore enough, which is why they took off ranked on the second alpha or the second beta test, and that's why they didn't launch that either. And they actually did a video recently talking about what they plan to do with ranked, and they said they want to make it more competitive, specifically to handle that issue.
This is why people use ELO. It's
Yeah.
simpler.
But they're not using MMR here. They're using like some battle score or something, which is based on rating, but it's not going to give you the rating straight up. So it'll kind of be masked the way I guess it does in League. In other games, like I kind of don't like that. I just want the game to tell me what is the game, what is my MMR, what does the game think my MMR is. I want a number. I want it simple and straightforward. I don't want layers of complexity on it. Like in League, you got the Diamond 3, Diamond 4, Silver this. No, I want a number. Okay, that's my ideal ranking system. But I don't. It's not going to do that.
Company's been moving away from that for like years, though, years and years.
Yeah, StarCraft, for example.
League used to have that. I don't know why they guess they made it more Careberry and like with badges like I'm diamond, I'm gold, guys.
Because if you're like 900 rating or something, or really bad low rating 500 elo or something in League, if you were like bronze 3, you feel good when you get to bronze 2. There's a sense of progression. But if you're like 800, you're in the shitter. If you're 900, you're still in the shitter. You know, at least you still see like the climb when you're bronze 5.
I don't know.
Bronze
Does
3.
that? All right, ready?
I think
If you're a
it's
bronze, you're in the shitter. It's just I don't care. It's 1 to 5.
Okay, but it's still like a progression, you know. You feel closer that you're out of the shitter. But when you're like 500, you get to 700 after a while. You're still in the shitter.
I don't
That's
know.
my view of it.
Fair enough. All right, I have interesting Overwatch news. So apparently, there's a feature I never used, but I was aware of it called "Avoid this player." You can right-click someone's name or something, and you can avoid that player in queue. And the point was to stop trolling or griefing, right? If someone's annoying you. But obviously, it didn't work that way, and they had to remove it because people were just avoiding high-skill players.
It's pretty hilarious.
I
Yeah.
avoided every single Hanzo I queued with. It's just I felt that was a good use of it.
It's not supposed to be
As
used
soon
for
as
that
I
stuff.
saw that feature, I was like, "There's no point to have this because there's only one real way to use it, and that's abusing it."
Internet will find a way to abuse anything, right? You give them an opportunity, but they're gonna find a way to abuse it.
I'm waiting for you guys to find out that it can't queue you because you've blocked too many people.
Why am I
Start
queued
taking
3 hours?
It's like Blizzard Y, and then you end up like you blocked 70% of the players.
I mean, can you imagine they kept that feature like that in a ranking system? Because it probably wouldn't matter at the low rankings, but the high rankings, there's only a small group of people you can queue against, right?
Yeah.
So if you block 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, people. Also, if you block one guy, you can't queue against this whole team because it won't put you in a queue with
It
them.
would make the matchmaking a lot longer.
Yeah, not just longer, but so the web it would weave is just retarded. So I'm shocked that went through like the testing phase and got into the game, but now it's gone. So that's good.
I mean, they also figure in terms of matchmaking queue times, the game is so popular that blocking a couple people was really no issue. You'd still find games really quickly. I mean, I guess that was their thought process, but again, people found ways to abuse it. But yeah, I'm personally really looking forward to ranked.
All right, so well, speaking of hero shooters, I know Matt and Omar had a chance this week to play Lawbreakers.
I sent you a key. Why didn't you play it?
I did launch it. I think last night, like 2 a.m. Servers were down.
Yeah, it was only 2 days.
Oh, well, that explains that.
Rest in pepperoni.
I did install it though, to my defense. So tell me, how was Lawbreakers? Do you guys have a good
I
experience?
can't
Bad
give a fair
experience?
opinion because I ran very sluggish. So I think Matt will have a better, discussion of it.
Matt,
It's
share
about
it.
as good as I remember it being. It's about exactly the same as I remember it being. It looks like they slapped together the matchmaking and the main menu, though. I mean, it's kind of. It's kind of. I would not go with the first look video. That is sluggish.
I have a question. So tell me, are you aware of this game at all or no?
No, not at all.
All right, so take a look at this game. I maintain that it looks like Overwatch, but more realistic rather than cartoony. Others have said no, it's not Overwatch.
It doesn't play anything like Overwatch.
No, it's not like Overwatch.
I mean, a little like
Alright,
Overwatch.
alright, I'm gonna have to ask you a question here. Is
Alright.
every game with someone with a rocket launcher just an Overwatch clone? Like in your eyes, is that what qualifies as an Overwatch clone?
Tommy really picked up a lot in this podcast right away. He's already analyzed Altai.
Dude, it's Overwatch.
No, it's not.
It is
It's
not.
Overwatch. It's like a lot more grounded. It feels like a lot less abilities.
It
more
looks like Unreal Tournament
shooting.
/ Quake with the
Yeah.
character with some hero abilities. There's no ultimates. Well, there kind of is through Q, but not as much as Overwatch.
Yeah, this video you took over is so janky.
Yeah, it's because again I had performance issues, so I didn't.
That's
take
why I
away
told you not to
points.
use it.
Yeah,
All
look
right,
at
link
her
me
video.
something else.
It's
But, Because it's an alpha, I had some performance issues. I think some people having FPS issues. Not everybody, obviously, and these little issues will be fixed by the time the game launches. But it felt like a faster paced, like Dirty Bomb, in my opinion. And I say Dirty Bomb because Dirty Bomb also had the two like few hero abilities. It's like an arena shooter / Dirty Bomb mix.
There's
Alright.
one with a free-to-play shooter, right?
Here's one.
It's not free to play; you have to pay for it, which
Alright.
makes me think. For that reason alone, I don't see the game succeeding.
All right,
I
as
hope it does.
It's pay to play.
Yeah, you got to buy it. It's a
Alright.
good retail game.
as a third party, unknown about this game, do you think Lawbreakers has any chance with Overwatch out there, Tubby?
Yeah, that's a good question. Tubby should, yeah.
Like,
When
you-
to coming out?
This
We
summer.
don't know.
Soon.
No, it's not coming out this summer. It's coming out sometime after this summer. It's gonna go into early access. They're not sure when.
If the early
Oh,
access comes out, it's out. Okay.
I feel like FPS players like to play different FPSs. Like not every player, but I feel like if they space it out enough and the Overwatch hype dies enough, like it could do all right.
It could, but
I think
go ahead.
The game itself looks mediocre. Like it looks. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys like it?
Matt liked
I
it,
really like
think.
it. It plays a lot better than it looks. And I think the whole dynamic between the characters they have is a lot more solid and like balanced than I've experienced in Overwatch, even at this early stage.
I really like the character you're seeing right now. With the rope. I mean, I did by far the best on him, and I felt like he was a really original, unique character in the game. Because you focus on your melee weapons, you were like a ninja, you had the crazy maneuverability. It almost made you feel like Attack on Titan when you're repelling around. I thought that was really cool, but the other characters kind of felt bland to me. I mean, they had personalities; they would talk and stuff, but this is the only character that I actually really thought was something. Whereas
I
every
thought-
character in Overwatch feels like really well fleshed out.
See, I thought for sure with how much you play Soldier 76, you'd be the Enforcer.
I tried the
24/7.
Enforcer, but he just felt very bland. And this guy like two shots people. Like when you get melee range, they're insta dead. With the other guy, everyone's repelling all over the place. They can't kill them.
All right, guys. All right, conspiracy time. But before this comes out, right, when they had the schedule on lockdown, Blizzard is gonna release their first major Overwatch patch, like new characters, new skins, new maps. Boom.
Conspiracy time. The problem with that is I don't think Blizzard looks at this game as even a threat. Like, not even close to a threat.
I would think of this less as a competitor to Overwatch and more as a game that's going to carve out its own niche.
All right,
Possible.
I hope so.
I mean, I'm all for conspiracies, but I just don't see that conspiracy happening.
I mean, we saw what happened to Battleborn, right?
Yeah, they got dunked.
They just got dunked by Overwatch. It's over. You know,
I
game
don't
set and
think-
match.
I
That
don't
was a
think
bad
Battleborn.
issue.
I don't think Battleborn suffered exclusively because of Overwatch. I think it had a lot of like perception issues, and I think a lot of people went into it expecting something completely different.
It was kind of different though. I mean, you gotta give. I mean, it was a full-on MOBA, but with FPS elements. Like, you can't look at that game as a traditional like a shooter because you didn't like 3-shot people or 5-shot or even 10-shot people. It was just a straight-up shooter, MOBA. So I would say it was different.
Well, I mean, I think they expected something different than they got.
All right. So I imagine. Do you think this whole trend of hero shooters is kind of like MOBAs, like in 2014 and 15, where they had tons of MOBAs that came out that went nowhere?
I think hero shooters are gonna potentially have a larger market than MOBAs because they're easier to get into. Potentially.
Potentially. I think Energy Heroes is gonna have no market. All right, that's what I think. I think Energy Heroes is going straight down the shit.
I did not say anything about Energy Heroes.
It was also a hero shooter though, so I had to bring it up.
Well, there it is. I don't know. I think these games are just gonna struggle to stay afloat in Overwatch's wake. That's my
I
opinion
think
on
this
it.
game would do awesome if it was free to play, but because it's not, I don't. We'll see. Again, I'm really curious now. Just I want this game to come out already so we can see how it does. And
I mean, it
I also
looks
really want to play
great.
it
I
on
mean,
a smoother computer,
yeah.
smoother setup.
The thing is, it looks like a buy-to-play game. I mean, it really
It
does.
looks. Are you judging a book by its cover?
I think it'll be fine because it looks like one, right? Because like that's all you need to be a successful buy-to-play game. You have to look like it.
What felt really awkward to me in this is the characters like they go for a gritty feel too if you play it right. So your character be like just dropping f bombs pretty randomly. Like what was the deal with that, Matt?
Oh, you mean like the quirky lines they had,
The
the stereotypes?
yeah, they're just dropping f bombs trying to be like, look, we're a mature game for adults. We don't mess around. You know,
Oh, I don't
we
know.
drop f bombs.
The lines that they all say are cringy. Like the one was like, "Today, crime's gonna pay," and I'm just like,
The curse ones are awful.
What's up with the name?
That's
Is
one I
there
really
any
like.
is there any story behind the name? Lawbreakers? Are these like criminals
Yeah.
one
fighting
side
each
is
other?
law, one
Yeah.
side is breakers.
That's
Law
it.
breakers.
What?
Yeah, the two
Oh.
factions, the two sides. One is law, one is breakers.
That's pretty silly.
There is a story, but they haven't released like any of it. All I know is there's been a cataclysmic event, and like there are zero gravity zones all over the world. The world's shattered into a bunch of pieces, but it's not post-apocalyptic because the world has rebuilt itself. That's all I know.
Amazing.
Somebody said they're lawbreakers. Do you think they care?
All right. Well, that's enough of this. Enough of this. Enough of this.
Enough
I
of
got.
lawbreakers.
Let's move on. Move on. Move on. All right.
I got something. I
got
might have
something?
something for us
Let's
over
hear
here. So it was actually a thread on RMRPG, which I thought was a little bit interesting. Somebody said, "What makes an MMO unappealing to you?" And I thought it was pretty funny because the guy who made that thread, he was saying like, "I don't like Korean games because of one of the reasons he doesn't like Korean games was because it's free to play, which means they throw in cosmetics and pay to win bullshit." Which I thought was pretty hilarious that he included cosmetics and pay to win bullshit in the same sentence. And I actually called out, like, wait, why are you putting cosmetics and pay to win bullshit in the same sentence? Like one affects the game, one doesn't. And the guy tells me, or someone, I'm not sure it was him, but somebody replied because it's usually flashy crap that encourages you to buy stuff rather than earn it. Again, some games get away with it, like MOBAs, but in general, paying monthly should be enough to get all the stuff you want if you want to earn it in the game. Do you guys think that's a valid complaint, or is this guy just absurd?
I think that's a form of entitlement. Like
Before.
developers can charge whatever they want. It's up to you to decide whether you want to pay it, but you can't tell them that they can't charge that because you don't want them to.
But his logic, because it's usually flashy, ugly crap. Like first, it's ugly. Like don't buy it. You know?
Okay.
Why are you so mad, bro?
Well, remember what was the name of the topic thread?
What makes an MMO unappealing to you?
Okay. First, all right. So again, it's like an opinion thing, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. As an opinion, I don't care. I'll still play a game, but a lot of the costumes in a lot of like let's say fantasy games are like sci-fi or like modern, like flashy. Like they don't fit the world. It does bug me. It's not gonna stop me from playing or whatever, not but using them myself. But when
Some
I see,
games let you hide those players though, so you only have to see them if you don't want.
yeah, but I haven't encountered that option in the menu. I haven't looked, but it does annoy me when I see like a guy in a jetpack, let's say, or like a hoverboard, right? In a fantasy world. It bothers me a little.
It's a fantasy world. It's
Unless
fantasy.
it's done like nicely with like steampunky, like the gnomes in WoW, you know, like they're like, you know, like they got steam shit going on.
It's just weird that somebody would throw in cosmetics and pay to win bullshit in the same sentence. I mean, I think the pay to win bullshit is a pretty universally hated topic. But to just say, oh, those assholes buying cosmetics, it's like it ruins my come on, how does it ruin your immersion? You do you let them do them. Right?
Well, yeah, but no.
Daniel Mary, you had to buy that car in Terra. You've ruined my
Right.
life.
Right? You
Yeah,
see the car-
Terra's a big offender actually. There's a lot of nonsense in Terra, like the cosmetics.
But how is it offending you?
It's not offending me. It's just not appealing when I see it.
I don't know.
I look at it and I want to cry.
Yeah,
I really
see,
do.
man, all right. I'm with Matt on
I
this
mean,
one.
what do you think?
Omer invited me to play Second Life, and he had like a unicorn costume with a rainbow dick, and I was really jealous. I just couldn't get into the game because I was like, $20 for this unicorn costume, and it honestly made the game really unappealing to me. So I'm gonna have to agree with that.
That's the guy that bought a ghillie suit.
Oh,
No, ooh.
The ghillie suits were a great design. Great design.
Well, let's talk Black Desert right now because we have Tubby in here with us, and he's played a shit ton of Black Desert, and they actually just launched a pretty big update. So
But
we can
did
link
you
to a
play
video.
any Node Wars?
No, because it just came out.
Then what good
Yeah.
are you? God, I'm leaving. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna link you the video from Node Wars in Black Desert.
What is Node Wars? Is it like when you can actually fight for those little points you can put points into now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you tax the area and you get money for your guild.
I thought they had that back when I played, but I guess they didn't.
It seems like pretty key part of the game. I remember like everyone was excited about it.
Is it just Node Wars or Sieges?
Siege Wars are here too.
Sieges are way bigger.
Okay.
Siege just happen like once a week, and you fight over a castle, and there's 4 like marketplaces. You can change the tax rate on the markets if you own a castle, then your guild gets a lot of money.
But these features have been out in Korea for a long time. Why it takes so long to come out in North America?
Well, that's one of them. The other one is also you can place towers and fight over zones, and you have to destroy every other guild's tower.
Yeah.
So there's the castle sieges, and then there are node sieges. And basically, it's going to come down to whoever's played longer and has higher gear is going to win.
So you guys
think
play-
gear was a big deal.
You guys play BDO a lot more than we did. Like, what's going on in that game? Is it still doing well? Is it shrinking, growing? What are your thoughts?
I quit after like 3 weeks, so.
Oh.
From what I saw, a lot of people are catching up to the top tier. Like, there's a lot. The higher you get, obviously, the bigger the diminishing returns you're getting. So a lot of like the top guilds weren't dominating anymore because some of the smaller guilds were starting to catch up in gear. But the player base was shrinking slowly, but not like alarmingly fast.
I mean, then again, every MMO, after launch has a period of declining, user base. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
All right, so we've been playing Blade and Soul a little, like for last week's Sunday Fun Day.
All right.
Before we switch, I just wanted to say, okay, so I can't find it now because damn MMORPG and their site redesign, right? But they had a thread on MMORPG's forums, and somebody was collecting all the issues that were going on with the new patch with Node Wars and Siege Wars and stuff. And supposedly, the Tamer's pet is now invincible, but it can't attack anything, and the Tamer's been debuffed big time. And there are a bunch of other like promised updates that just aren't working. And classes that are just straight up broken. And people are like, what the fuck, Dom? What did you do?
Well, they did fix one thing, right, with the hacking.
Yeah, they fixed the hacking. They fixed one hacking aspect, which is good. It's kind of a big deal. They moved skill cooldowns from client side to server side as of the last patch. So that's going to prevent the hackers, the abusers, from getting away with that element. And in fact, the source for that was one of the devs for one of the hack tools that lets you abuse the cooldowns said it's not going to work anymore because it's server side. But there is an option to try it. But because it's server side, you're like 99% chance to get insta ban when you do it. So they'll be able to detect it right away.
Me and my brother used to always joke about how Dom literally had 2 jobs, was to like translate the game and to support the North American like servers. And the translation was god awful. Like, it was one of the worst translations. Like, I haven't actually played that many translated games, but it was pretty bad. And then like the customer support for Black Desert was like a tier above Steam, and that's not saying much. Like, so I don't know, Dom I think was a bad company to handle the game.
Well, they're the same company that publishes in Korea, aren't they?
So, yeah. Whoever they hired to handle it, I guess, just did a bad job.
They're a subsidiary. It's Dom Games Europe.
Also, I think the whole server side with the skill set must have been done by the developers. It's not a publisher's decision, right?
No, it's
okay.
not.
That just tells me whoever was in the development team was just retarded. That's such an obvious thing. It's not forgivable. It's not excusable. It's not like explainable.
No, you're right.
If you do that, I wouldn't. That guy shouldn't get hired to be a developer for any game. From now until he dies. He's just mentally retarded. So that's just
Wow, shots fired.
Incredibly stupid.
That's a little harsh, but whoever did that really did fuck
He
up.
should get taken out back and shot, really. But we live in a civilized world. We can't do and this is 2016. Like, this stuff didn't happen like in like 1990s when I played. They were smart enough not to. allow
Air
things like
Hunt,
that.
everyone. This is 2016. Why can't we take people out back and shoot them when they don't do their jobs right?
All right. Anyway, I was trying to switch the topic with Blade and Soul, but I was just mentioning what's with these recent games and like not getting new weapons. Like I remember in Black Desert, right? You don't get equipment. You just keep what you have, right?
Kind of.
It doesn't like change like for a long time.
Well, alright, for weapons, you had your Yuria, which is the one you started with. Then you had Liberto, then you had Zarka. That was like your progression.
Yeah, okay, so 3 weapons, whatever. Same thing in Blade and Soul. I'm level 25 in Blade and Soul now. I've been using the same weapon. I just keep feeding it other weapons that I find. Like this
Yes,
shit.
but it upgrades. You feed it different weapons and it transforms to new weapons.
No, one of the cool things in MMOs is like Diablo. Like I want to like kill the boss, you know, and like I get the new sword, you know, like this one has
Kill
fire.
the boss, you get the new sword that lets you upgrade your current sword because the evolution materials which let you get new weapons in Blade and Soul are from like the dungeons and stuff.
It doesn't feel the same. I want the flame sword, the poison sword, you know, like I want the big broadsword, little katana. Like, come on.
Do you like that design, Omer? Where you just like upgrade one piece of gear instead of trying to get like a unique piece of gear?
You still have gear because you have the soul shards, which are just like the pie pieces. So you have gear that way. I actually don't mind upgrading system. I think it works pretty well.
Do you like it though? Would you prefer it over, let's say, like Diablo 3 or WoW's system of gear, where you get unique stuff?
I really like Diablo's system of gear, so that's a whole. But only action RPGs have really pulled that off. Like I haven't seen any MMORPG besides Diablo and Path of Exile even attempt to pull that off.
WoW kind of had it too. Where,
Yeah, well, I had it. Like I was changing gear every dungeon run. Like
No, but
during your leveling.
I said Path of Exile and it was randomized stats in Diablo. I feel like the randomized stats was what made Diablo.
No. I'm not talking necessarily randomized stats. I'm just talking about, let's say, every time I kill a boss in a dungeon in WoW, right? I was pretty much going to replace one piece of gear during the run.
Again, it's that it's not that I don't like it. It's just a different thing. I can't say it's better or worse. I really no complaint with it. I think it works. I think it works.
I think it's strictly worse. Like,
plus, it allows you to use your trash loot that's not like if you find loot that's not for your character, it doesn't go to waste. Like if you're hunting in WoW and you find like a blue that's like for a different class that's bind on pickup or something stupid that does nothing for you. At least here you can make use of it.
I mean, you say that, but like nothing you find, even if it's for your class, is equipped. It's all fed into your starting gear.
It is all fed into your starting gear.
So instead of the gear dropping, let's just say like they gain experience. Like imagine like your weapon and your earring and your necklace all gain a little bit of experience as you fight. Rather than having me open my inventory every 5 minutes.
It feels less involved though, because it feels less involved.
Yeah, but it's just the way it's involved now is just absurd and useless. It's like
for the pie pieces especially. I think it's actually a little bit interesting.
Oh, don't get me started on the pie pieces. What like
with the pie pieces when you upgrade your soul shards, whether you get varying stats because there's RNG involved with upgrading pie pieces because you can get like +4 accuracy up to +7 depending on what you put on there and how well you craft it is like a percentage chance. So there's some randomization there too. So it's not always the same. I don't think it applies for the regular weapons though.
The whole leveling felt so abstract.
I was busy responding to an email. What is Erhan's argument here?
Okay.
He doesn't like feeding weapons. He doesn't like the fact there's only one weapon in Blade and Soul, and it's
I'm
it's not
fine
just
with that.
I think it's fine too.
It's
like Blade and Soul. It even changes visually as you upgrade it. Like it's fine. It's completely fine. I don't see what's wrong with that.
It diminishes like the sense of reward for me. Like I want like
how? I mean, look at it this way: you're finding new weapons that you then evolve your current weapon with, and then it changes into a weapon similar to that weapon that you used.
They're
to
not even.
with.
All right, how about this then? Imagine you just gain experience as you fought your weapon.
I'd be fine with that.
But
I mean,
that would be better than this. This is just every once in a while I gotta open my inventory, throw my junk like into my items, and just close it.
Using your logic.
Give the experience thing, give my weapon a voice, and then it's a new character, and I'm totally fine with that. I mean, you think I'm kidding, but no, I'm serious.
I don't know. Everyone in the world is walking around the same weapon as me in Blade and Soul. That just makes
one guy actually.
What?
Mufte agreed with you. He said actually that's why he stopped playing Blade and Soul. It felt stupid that everyone literally had the same weapon, and so clearly you're not alone in that opinion. But I want to go back to your logic of saying it should just automatically level. Yes, it's an extra step, right? But if you literally break down every MMO down to their basic easiest form, why not just play a game where you just sit in town and press some buttons and numbers go up?
Now here's why.
Why even bother doing anything?
Because there's no actual purpose. There's no purpose with the feeding it the weapons. Like
you have to find the weapons to feed it. It's not just everything that drops it. Because if you got experience
So
for everything,
why don't like shards just drop or something, like weapon shard, armor shard? Like what? Like no one is ever going to use a green that drops. No one is ever going to use any piece of equipment that drops in this game. They're all going to use a Hong Moon or whatever starting one, right?
No, you late.
Or they're going to switch once late game.
They're going to switch. I think there are some switches that happen.
From 1 to 25 or to 26 so far, right? Nothing that dropped, okay, is even remotely usable.
But the problem is you keep complaining about that, right? But that doesn't apply at all for the soul shards. The soul shards are what you're talking about. The traditional gear system, basically, with soul shards.
No, but the soul shard system, all right, if you guys don't know, basically, there's no gear in this game except for, it's gear, right? But they're just slices of pie, and you have like 10 of them, I think.
8 of them.
8 of them or 10 of them. Or it's 8 of them.
Well, you also have gear. You also have like the earrings and the necklace. You have to upgrade it.
I don't know. Like, what am I equipping? I don't understand. Am I shoving like this slice in my head? Like,
How is that an issue? How is that bothering you?
I can't get into it. Like, and wow, I got the pauldrons, I got the gauntlets, I got the sword. You know, things are happening.
Here's the thing, right? I mean, I think that it's better to keep the same weapon and improve it because who's gonna? Okay, if you want to have this logical debate, then tell me why the fuck a sword is dropping out of a fucking dragon. Okay,
it's hoarding it.
Just wait, no, not just a random sword, but like a sword of fiery death, and it's just like, why would a dragon have this? Say that like it's a dragon slaying sword, right? Wouldn't the guy that he would have stolen it from and eaten it, that you're tearing the thing out of the stomach of the dragon with, wouldn't he have just killed the dragon with the dragon slaying sword?
Well, he tried. See, that's why he was there. Okay, he got there, he tried, he failed, and now you're taking his sword from the old adventurer.
Why are these wolves I'm killing dropping blue swords still? What about that? You want to talk about realism?
Oh my god!
Dropping weapons?
Okay, it's a matter of what looks cool.
You're the one that is arguing that it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so now if you want to say that it doesn't make any sense, you have to question everything.
Fine. We're assuming, like when you kill the wolf or whatever, or like the orc, that you're looting its encampment or its bag or its backpack, right? And I do agree, wolves should not drop stuff. Like, they should drop fur and like blood and paws, right? But orcs can drop swords and shit. Because they have backpacks and stuff. Boom.
Somebody actually just mentioned in Blade & Soul, if you don't have 3 to 4 alts all doing daily quests, don't even dream of having max level gear. So the gear grind gets absurd in Blade & Soul later. Just throwing that out there.
My issue with the gear grind in Blade & Soul base comes down to it's too abstract. It's just +1, +2, +3.
Wait, the guy who talks in only abstract is mad that the leveling gear grind is abstract? What is this?
At least the soul shards make sense, all right? It's a piece.
How does 8 slices of pie you slap on your face make sense?
Because monsters that drop it, they could be carrying these rare treasure gems that give you different stats, right? That's fine. That makes sense. But again, with a dragon carrying a dragon slaying sword doesn't make sense.
You know what's cooler than those pie slices? Like rings, like in Diablo, like rings or necklace. Okay, but that makes sense. You equip it. What are these pie slices?
I don't know what the pie slices are, but just imagine they're like an amulet you're piecing together, and it's like a magical amulet.
A little bit of visual, a little bit of mental.
I don't like it. That's all I gotta say.
I think in this game you get the best of both. You get the item grind the same way you're talking about when you get new pieces of gear with the soul shards. You don't have to always wear the same sets either. When you find something really good, you just wear it.
Okay, but the thing about this system, Erhan, is that you get this sense of accomplishment for leveling up a weapon. Like the weapon grows with you.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling.
Your weapon.
It's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling that everybody in your class, let's say, has the exact same weapon with the exact same stats as you.
Oh my god, every game is exactly like that except BDO, where they have 4 sets that everybody uses.
No, there's different armor sets and stuff. Like in every other game, I ran into people with different armor and stats and stuff. Until the late game.
They don't have the best armor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm level 25. I don't have the best armor yet either in Blade & Soul.
I'll tell you just salty. I beat him in 1v1 PvP.
A level 25, and
that's why he's
in all the traditional MMORPGs, right? They'll have different gear.
Okay, what does it matter if you have the same item with the same stats if you look different? And Blade & Soul has that in spades with all the costumes you can get.
Also, for the record, I'll tell you, you're wrong. And almost any MMORPG at level 25, you can use the same gear as everyone else in your class at level 25. You know why? You use the same. You do all the same quest lines, right? And you can use the weapon you get from the quest line that's the best. Guess what? They're all the same. Everyone's got the same weapon. Yes, you've changed weapons a few times, but they're all at every point, at every stage. Everyone that's your class with the same
I disagree. Weapon. There'll be an ideal set that everyone is aiming for, but some people will have the one piece, some people will have the other piece, some people will two-hander, one-hander. No, dude, there's dungeons by 25.
Yeah, there's dungeons.
Yeah. Thank you, Tubby. Thank you.
With random drops.
There you go. All right. So that's my take on that. It doesn't. I don't feel like I'm jiggling my stats enough or my equipment enough in Blade & Soul. I feel removed
I'm
from my
having a lot of fun
weapon.
in Blade of Soul.
I feel removed. Listen, I'm having fun with the combat,
Okay,
right?
I like that everything that I drop has a purpose, that I can use it to upgrade something else instead of just selling it. That's what I like.
Yeah, there's a lot of vendor trash loot, like greeny meanies and wow, that you're not going to use.
That's all right. That doesn't bother me. You can just throw it out if you don't want to sell it.
Oh my god.
Dude's voice is deep. Tabby, did you know your voice is deep?
No.
I mean, again, I feel like what bothers Airhunt is the pilot classes aren't like gear, and for some reason,
And the weapon. Everyone has the same
one
weapon.
abstraction is such a big deal for him, which I think is absurd. It's one abstraction. Who cares? You know? What?
I think for an MMORPG especially, and this is why we're all lost in the desert looking for the next big MMORPG. Good MMORPG. Like, do you need these kind of small touches to bring the world together? When everyone is just running around, like, who knows the name of their weapon? I don't.
Okay,
Right?
but nobody's.
In WoW, I knew my stuff.
Everybody's running around with the
didn't.
same stuff. They're all wearing different costumes.
No, your weapon. Let's forget the costume.
Who
Nobody
cares
knows.
about the weapon? You
Yeah,
have
it's not-
different.
I had benediction in WoW. Like, it meant something. Yeah,
When you're max level, that's different.
I bet you when you get to max level in this game, you will not know your weapon name.
What was your level 25 weapon in WoW? Oh wait, you don't know because it was like some random.
Listen, all
bullshit
right, my
story.
paladin in WoW, okay, the one I did battlegrounds with, the like low level battleground, had this cool like warhammer that like
What was
double
the name,
proc.
buddy? What was the name?
I don't know the name. I forgot the name. But I knew
Okay,
what
there
it
you
was.
go.
I can describe it. It had a feeling to it. A double proc fire, and I had like an enchantment on it, so it was like triple proc. But in this game, it doesn't matter. It's just the weapon doesn't matter. It's all about the same 4 skills.
4 skills. There's a lot more than 4 skills. What are you
Whatever.
talking about?
7 skills.
There's more. There's more involvement in PvP in combat and Blade of Soul than like any other MMORPG.
I'm talking
You
about
watch
combat.
PvP
We're not talking about
videos,
combat.
Blade-
We're not talking about combat.
You just said there's only 4 skills. There's more than 4 skills.
My point is, you're not connected with the character.
I feel pretty connected with my character.
All right. Let's move on.
Let's move
I'm
on.
right. You're wrong. Let's move on.
You say so.
Here, let's. I know how to
Okay.
settle this. We'll bring Derek Smart on, and we'll have him answer it.
No, not Derek Smart. Not Derek Smart.
We need like a straw poll feature for like the chat. We need like a bot
Yeah.
that like people can vote, like exclamation Altai, exclamation Remo, or exclamation
Yeah,
Matt.
out of curiosity, in the chat.
You have to have a Twitch bot.
Do a straw poll right now.
We'll do a straw poll right now in the chat. What do you guys think?
We don't have a bot or anything.
Is
like
Altai's point a big deal? And while that poll goes on, I want to talk about it's also MMORPG related too because talks about difficulty in MMORPGs. I know I've ranted about this before in the streams, but some guy actually commented on Reddit that Super Mario Bros. 1 has more challenge in the first 30 seconds than a typical MMORPG in the first 10 hours.
True. That's
Okay,
true.
but that's a completely different genre. Whatever. Move on.
Nope. I mean, I feel like difficulty in
I
MMORPGs is a big
disagree.
issue. You disagree?
Yeah, Super Mario. The first 30 seconds was clowning easy.
You had to like jump over some stuff. You could fall into a pit and die. You can't die in MMORPGs in the first 10 hours for the most part. What MMO have you died in the first like 10 hours?
World of Warcraft.
No. Have
Yeah.
you played WoW today?
No, not today, but when it came out.
Okay, but we're talking today. Every game has devolved to being brain dead easy.
Oh, Mayor, we're losing here. We're losing to Altai. Where's your
Alright.
YouTube crowd? Come on. Come on.
Yeah, I agree with Erhan. I think the gear and Black Desert and then Blade and Soul, I don't like it. The same thing with like talent trees. I don't know why games are moving away from talent trees. That's my favorite part.
Because at least with talent trees, you have customization.
Tubby,
Okay.
you just
think
reminded me of
talent
another
trees are
awful
completely
point in
different
Blade
than
and
what
Soul.
We're talking about.
Alright.
What do you mean? It's kind of like all
It's
right,
related. It's
Diablo
related.
3, for example, it's all streamlined the talents now. Or it's
Yeah.
kind of like the same as like gear and Blade and Soul. It's streamlined. It's just like you have one weapon, you upgrade it. It's because they don't think you're smart enough to pick your own skills or choose between different weapons. So they just give you one weapon that you upgrade. It's just like, oh, there's just no thinking. There's no.
But that's a problem with a lot of games today is that they devolve to that point where they get rid of the choice and the customization and thinking. That you just go with the streamlined approach.
Yeah,
I
I don't enjoy that. Like that's.
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like Blade and Soul allows you a lot more build customization through your skills than it does through your gear, though.
All right, the
You can
skill
change
system.
it at any minute.
The skill system. You get a point when you level up, right? Starting at some point. I don't think it's presented well. I'm just like there's like 4 like
Okay,
recommended
just because
builds.
the interface is awful, though, doesn't mean that
No.
it's not a good system. It just means the
I mean, do you think it's a
interface
good
is
system,
awful.
Matt? Have you played with it?
No, I'll explain
Yeah, I've played
why
it.
it's okay system. Okay. The
Alright,
problem is it follows the current trend of MMORPGs being really easy. When games are easy and you level up, right? You have no need or desire to look at the talent system and pick good talents. There's absolutely no need because the game is easy. Why even spend half a second worrying about optimizing your talent trees and even looking into it? As is with the talent system, I'm not even looking into it. There's no reason to look into it. It's only when you hit max level that you want PvP will you actually start experimenting with builds and playing with that around because there's no need to do it right now. And that's the unfortunate effect of games getting easier
and you would
and
agree
easier.
that's a major design flaw.
No, that's
But
a
that's
trend
not a
every
design
MMORPG is
flaw with
taking.
Blade and
Blade and Soul.
Blade and Soul.
It
That's not
is.
a design flaw with Blade and Soul. Blade and Soul gives you a ton of customization options. It lets you
Yes.
change them whenever you want, so you can completely
great.
rebuild whenever you want. And then it gives you the recommended for people that want it simpler, but you're going to be stuck with a cookie cutter build that probably people can counter if they've been playing it for a long time.
Listen, all right.
I mean, it
For
gives you the
most
best
people,
of every world.
It doesn't because look, if I'm not engaged to at least figure it out, like right now, what I do is
Well,
once every 3
Okay,
levels,
that's
not even
a
every
problem
level,
with the
I
system,
open
though.
the skill thing, just click on auto, and then I close it. I have no idea what I'm leveling up. Am I getting new moves? Am I
Again,
improving my
there's-
old
Okay,
ones?
This is a
because it's
really
easy.
bad perception issue on your part,
No.
not on the game's
No.
part. Because
No,
you should
no.
always give people an easy
You
way
can never
out.
blame the player. If something is not presented in a way that I can, if a player can figure
You're
it out.
literally saying that just because it has an automatic option, it is not
No,
engaging you.
that's not what I'm saying. An
That
automatic
is what
option.
you said.
No,
That is exactly
no.
what you said.
It can be presented in a way that kind of compels me to slowly explore it, which a talent tree does. A talent tree is not overwhelming. On level 10, I get 1 talent point. I open it. There's only 3 options. I can do A, B, or C. But I see visually the progress. In Blade and Soul, it's like a list on the left, right? All the skills. So it's not presented in a visually, it's aesthetically way. It's kind of like a chart versus like a nice infographic.
Listen,
It's up to the company to present it well.
sure. But I actually think the skill system overall is pretty good. There's a lot of options to customize, and you can do it freely. There's a lot of good things going. The only bad thing about it was during the PVE process, during the grinding part.
Yes.
It's not that important because the
Okay.
game is easy, as
Right.
is every MMORPG.
And
It's
that's a
the
design
problem with
flaw.
the genre.
That's a design
I
flaw.
don't think it's that easy. I hit like level 20 and I'm having issues now.
Nuts. I one shot
I
everything.
dropped a video you can put in the background while we talk.
I literally one shot everything.
Wow. I don't.
My issue with Blade and Soul 2 was just the PvE. It was like, go in this dungeon, it's the same dungeon layout, clear it. Next quest, you clear the same dungeon again, but it's in a different spot. Next quest, you clear the same dungeon again,
It's not even
but
this
it's a
dungeon.
different spot.
I thought the problem was it was easy. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we
It was
I made a new character with Tubby. We didn't. I don't think we died once because it was, we go from point A to point B, just killing everything.
I was like the witch. I just spam fireball and everything died in one shot. And I'm like, okay.
With Blade and Soul, I felt the graphics of the world were great, like the visuals of the world environments.
What are you talking about? I think the characters look better. I know what you're going to say. I think the characters look better. And Omer linked a picture while we were playing the other day that describes it perfectly. It looks like they took a rock texture and stretched it across a rock that was 4 times the size of the original rock.
In fact, I'm gonna show that video and I'm gonna show that picture in here
All right,
because that was
fine,
pretty
you can
fun.
show, but I wasn't gonna complain about the player models. The enemies, right? They seem generic. I have no like connection like with the world in terms
That's
of the
because they
characters.
are
Because you're not
generic.
listening to the story. That's why.
No, I'm talking about like I haven't seen a proper orc camp. Instead, I just see the same humans and like and the wolves.
Are you complaining because there aren't orcs in your
All I
game?
see is
It's
wolves.
generic?
All I'm seeing is wolves and raptors. I feel like
Hello, I heard complaints.
Are you
about
really
not-
saying that orcs aren't generic?
no, not just orcs. I want to see something like cool.
There's a lot of cool things.
Like what?
The
What
player-
what monsters have
the
you fought?
desert. Those enemies in the desert are all different.
What? They're like the raptors and ostriches, right?
I don't know. They're like the starving bird things. They look
Yeah,
pretty
the
cool.
birds.
The wolves are generic. I'll give you that. But
The birds are generic too.
you said you didn't feel a connection with the world. But you can only say that because you didn't listen to the
No,
story.
no,
Are you gonna say it's the game's fault that you
No,
don't
no,
listen
no.
to the story?
I'm not commenting on the story because I didn't listen
Okay.
to it. I'm commenting
But
on
you get to
the.
immerse in the
engaged-
story.
I'm
You
on
get to
because
immerse-
you
the
didn't
enemy
watch
models are all just like dudes and like with knives and like animals. That's it. That's all I've seen.
Okay, but didn't we just talk the other day about how everyone else but me thought that story was important for engaging people in the world, and you're sitting here saying you didn't listen to the story, and that's why you're not getting engaged in
I'm
the
not
world.
engaged with the environment. I should say, not the world.
Again, that's
No,
we just argued the
the
other day
story
that I was
cannot
the
connect
story.
me. No, the character the maps, like the layouts, like the environment and the monsters are failing to engage me. I'm not commenting on the story.
All right. I wanna take this discussion slightly about difficulty in games, because somebody he brought a point saying, shouldn't the mods be easy because the grind takes forever? That's why the game is saying it's making it easy. But I would argue that there should be a lot less grind to get to max level, but it should be more rewarding grind where it's more challenging. You can have combat where when you kill a monster, it's more you could die, it's difficult, there are challenges along the way, but you can get to max level faster. I agree. If the grind is insane, it should be easy. But make the grind less, make the combat harder, so it still takes a while, but it takes a while through death and trial and error. And with the whole talent tree system, the problem is when it's easy, you don't care about skills, and the problem with that is you kind of lose sight of progression. The reason that you play games is to progress and get stronger. And when there's no challenge, it kind of defeats the purpose of playing the game and getting stronger. I want to look forward to the next level so I get a new skill point. I want to look forward to that talent point, which I don't do in Blade and Soul right now, which is again one of the little issues early on. But once you just have to, I think it's a problem that affects too many games to really criticize it on Blade and Soul specifically.
No, you have to.
I think the thing about Blade and Soul though is that it encourages you early on to use the auto, basically by the fact that it doesn't take enough skill to get through PvE.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it encouraged you, like if it was more difficult, it would encourage you to use skills that you were good with and balance your character around what you want to do with it. But since you can get away with using basically anything, it's not as like necessary for you to actually care about it early on. But again, once you get to the end game with the raids and the PvP, I can imagine that you would have a different outlook on that.
Yes. Let's also change this a little bit to Blade and Soul to get Tubby involved a little bit here too. I think
You mean Black Desert?
Black Desert Online also had similar issues. Tubby, was the PvE like? It was pretty that easy when I played, up to where I played. Did that continue to max level? I'm not talking world bosses. I'm talking
No,
just.
it got harder than world bosses. I guess if you're not gonna mention world bosses, but like the actual like, it depends how efficient you want to farm. Like if like when Medaya came out, and the Assassins was pretty hard for most people, like unless you were really high geared. And then but once you like farmed it, it got easy. So like, yeah, early game was a joke. Then it started to get kind of hard, but it's still pretty easy.
Did you feel like the need to optimize your skill builds at all in Black Desert? Because I didn't, because I feel like it was really like I wasn't even looking.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
You did.
All right.
I sat down with someone in my guild and actually talked about builds for our class for literally like hours at a time. We'd sit there and go over the numbers and everything.
But I just felt I didn't have to, because again, I was grinding. Like,
Yeah,
you kill so many.
Okay, but there's
you
a
grind
difference.
mass monsters at a time. You pull like 5-6 mobs at a time to grind.
yeah, but you got to like level 30, didn't you?
Yeah, you never got to the PvP. Okay, see, when you're in the early game, and even in the late game, if all you're doing is PvE, like we got to the point where we were so powerful when we did the Tree Ants guild mission, we'd all be like one-shotting every single one of them. I mean, and at the end game, and they're basically level 50 mobs. But the thing about it is, when you have people in open PvP that are coming after you, that are optimizing their skill builds, that have better gear than you, you have to think about it. You have to be ready.
Well, in PvP, of course, you got to think about it. Again, Blade Soul fixed that issue of PvP as well. You have to think about your builds, but in PvE is what I'm talking about. You don't really think about it too much.
But in Black Desert, there's not a difference. Anyone can flag up against you at any point and attack you.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Though was telling me I would just kill random people.
At least that kept people on there. Like that forces discipline. I think the consequences of easy gameplay in MMOs is so detrimental for that reason. Like for example, if it's so easy that I'm just knocking everything down one shot, never dying. Of course, when I get a skill point, I don't care. I'm just going to do whatever, right? And I'm not going to learn.
That's a big problem, I would say.
And you guys can't excuse it by saying, "Well, that's just you. You're not looking into it." If the game doesn't force me to optimize just to kill things my level and progress, that's a design failure. That's entirely on the development's fault. It has to force me to learn the mechanics. All right.
I wrote an entire editorial about that, but again, it's. At this point, you shouldn't expect that basic PvE is going to be difficult, and so you should know.
No, we don't know. You can't say that. No, you can't excuse that.
Right now, okay, but us here, all of us in this chat, we should know better, and we should be looking into it.
But how do you make the PvE harder?
Well, easy.
I think it's genre limiting things. How
Yeah, I
you,
think so.
Really?
Genre
Did
thing.
you guys play WoW during the vanilla?
You just learn a
WoW
rotation.
used to be hard.
No,
I
but
played WoW during vanilla. It was not that hard.
if you didn't, if you pulled 2 camps instead of 1, that's it. You got to run or you're dead. There was no
I thought it
constant
was
one.
pretty hard, but like, I was also 11 when it came out. You know what
Oh.
I mean? It
No,
was,
no, I wasn't 11. I was in late high school, and I same experience. It was if you pulled 2
hard.
camps, you run or you die. That's it. And that's with the proper skill build, proper gear.
Okay, but the other thing is, it wasn't that hard. There were always ways around it. Like if
You could
got
beat it,
caught,
yes.
if you got caught in a situation where it was hard, it was because you were being stupid, and that was the thing with vanilla WoW. You had to be stupid.
But it punished
to have
stupidity.
Really got killed.
But
So-
right now you
so
don't
in
get
Bla- so-
you don't get punished for
Yeah,
stupidity.
in Blade and Soul, I'm using 2 moves. I'm using
Okay,
one
but that's not
hand.
going to make you look at your talent trees. That's just going to make you be more careful about what you pull. That's completely different.
No, if I was dying-
you would optimize your build. If you actually almost die, because again, you're allowed to be. There's always leeway. It's not like you make one mistake and you die. The thing is, in Blade and Soul, you're allowed so many mistakes because it doesn't matter. But
Well, that's not Blade and Soul. That's modern MMORPGs.
Yeah, again, I don't want to criticize Blade and Soul specifically for this because I
No,
don't think
you
Blade and
guys
Soul
can't
doesn't
say that. You can't excuse it because other games suck. You can't say this part.
No, what we're saying is we can't just say it's Blade and Soul. It has to be modern MMORPGs because we could look at Riders of Icarus.
Fine.
We could look at
They all
Black
suck
Desert.
then.
We could look
They
at
all suck. They all
Echo
suck. They're all shit, and that's why they're all not going to live up to like WoW or anything because they're all doing the same
No.
shit.
WoW was doing the same thing too. WoW went full easy mode.
Yeah, that's
too.
why it's
People still
plummeting.
playing it. No,
No,
you
that's
say
not why it's
because of
plummeting.
age. That's not why it's because of plummeting. You can't.
It-
you can't. Yeah.
It hit the height of its popularity after.
If the
It had all
feature,
the
if we don't like the
Yeah.
feature, and I'm assuming from the vibe I'm getting, none of us are big fans of the current system with that. So don't
Okay,
excuse it by saying the other games do
Here's
it
why I'm
too.
excusing it. Blade and Soul does a better job in difficulty than most Korean RPGs. So in fact, I'm gonna give it the pass for that reason. If you played other Korean
You
RPGs,
can't give it a pass for that.
Okay, we got wiped in the first dungeon. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
calling that a pass.
And the dungeons, if you do the quest dungeons, you do have a chance to wipe. Because I died like 2-3 times doing this one dungeon that was meant for a party. I did it solo. After like 3 losses, the 4th try I got it.
You guys were over leveled for the dungeon we
We
were
were not
in.
that over level. It
And
was,
we
it was like
wiped.
minimum was 20, right? We were like
Yes,
22.
but any other game, 2 levels over would be
Are you
enough to
kidding? It's a
wipe
6-man
everything.
dungeon. We did it with 3 people.
No, it's 4-man dungeon too. 4 to 6.
4 to 6. Okay.
And
So-
we did it with 4 people. but
Okay. And we died once on one boss, right?
Yeah.
No, we wiped repeatedly on one boss.
No, once.
Anyway,
if
but,
once.
My point is, Blade and Soul gets a pass. It's a fact that Blade and Soul is more difficult than most Korean RPGs. I'm throwing down the gauntlet on that one right there. Okay. So we are criticizing the.
That's like saying the
genre as a
frog from Hello Kitty is more badass than the other characters. It doesn't mean.
whole. What?
Yeah,
The
that
frog,
would
the
mean
frog is
something.
more badass. 100% more badass.
That totally does mean something.
No, it
I
doesn't.
have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. So.
But with all that said, here I won't give it a pass. But with all that said, I'm somewhat enjoying just random like mindlessly
I'm
grinding.
enjoying Blade and Soul right
Okay,
now.
so but I'm not giving it a pass on
made
this.
me enjoy it even more. All right. Because PvP felt like I had to like outplay you, and that's fun.
All right, well you outplayed me using 2 moves. We'll try again with when I use 3 moves.
Okay, well, again, see, you'll be forced to use multiple moves when you're doing PvP because
Well, yes.
it's not gonna be this regular mob.
But again, that just means it doesn't want to be an MMO. It just wants to be a fighting game.
No,
Not
I
really,
think-
because there's open world PvP too.
yes, the game is doing pretty well, regardless. Okay, it's doing better than most MMORPGs too. So let's leave that
Again,
in
you're
there.
you're comparing it. You're lowering expectations.
No,
Yeah, I
we're
am
not
lowering
lowering
expectations a little bit.
expectations. I'm not lowering expectations. I'm just expecting it to be fun, and right now it's fun.
I'm having fun too. Yes,
It's
despite
not so
all this.
brain dead.
By having
Yeah, I
fun,
can't
you're,
have
you're
fun.
part of the problem, not the solution. Just kidding.
I'm having fun.
Go back to Dark Eden and shut the fuck up.
No, there's a game.
Go back to 1997.
Party like it's 1999. All right. New news. Now, speaking of easy, mindless, shitty games, let's talk about mobile. Let's talk mobile,
All
boys.
right, let's talk about mobile.
Okay, let's talk about mobile. Tencent is buying Supercell.
Yep. Supercell makes those lovely Clash of Clan, Boom Beach, and Clash Royale strategy
Royale.
games.
Clash Royale.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
Royale to you,
Well,
buddy.
Royale with cheese.
Really good.
It's really
Royale
good.
with
What?
cheese.
How about you play it?
It looks good. I've
Oh.
considered it. Own it.
All right.
Like that game looks pretty fun, dude. Have you looked
I mean,
into it at all?
I have
Do you
not.
consider yourself a mobile gamer?
No, not at all. Like I only play Hearthstone on my phone.
So a
But,
cool
like,
thing. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Clash Royale seems pretty fun. Seems like it requires.
It actually
some
looks
skill.
different. I'm not gonna lie. It does look. It actually looks interesting.
I've actually never
Yeah.
looked into it. Let me look into it.
The other two look stupid as hell, but like.
Hmm.
Have you guys played any of the other ones? Like Clash of Clans,
No,
any of that
I've
stuff?
played enough like Ebony clones and like Plarium games that they're all the same to me now. All those strategy games are all the same.
The place I used to work at, plenty of people quote unquote clashed, meaning played Clash of Clans, but I have never played Clash of Clans myself.
Put on that clutch game. I want to see that clutch gameplay right there. Put on that clutch gameplay.
Oh man, guys, look at this guy's Clash Royale right
What's
here.
going on about?
So one cool thing about, I guess this story, right, is after this purchase, Tencent will have 13% of the entire worldwide gaming business. I'm not just.
That's pretty huge.
I'm
Holy
talking
shit.
mobile, console, PC, everything.
Everything.
The whole gaming console. It's about $100 billion a year business, and they will have 13%, 13 billion of it. Impressive.
So for you guys that aren't too familiar with Tencent, they own League of Legends right now, which is they get a huge chunk of like the PC market from that. They own they bought Supercell for Clash of Clans and some of the mobile games, and they own studios like Epic Games, who make the Unreal Engine, so that they have a huge stronghold in the market.
And they have the only legitimate Naruto online game.
Meh.
Oh boy, he got my attention.
It's a crappy
So-
browser game.
They paid a cool 10 billion for this. Isn't it crazy that a company that like Supercell is worth like over 10 billion? It's 10.2 billion. And then you have a lot of real companies that are just worth, I say real companies again, but they're still real companies. But like just for like, I'll tell you how much Activision is worth in a second. Because I mean Activision I think is the biggest video game company in the West, 28 billion. So Clash of Clans is worth about a third of all of Activision. And you look at a company like Nintendo, all of Nintendo's worth 17 billion. And then you had Supercell worth 10.2 billion. Isn't that crazy? That a company like Nintendo, which has had such a long legacy, these countless games, their consoles, their platforms, their iconic characters, is like only slightly bigger than Supercell.
Well, here's a fun chart, guys. Top 10 public companies by game revenue. So number 1 will be Tencent after this merger. Number 2 is Blizzard, Activision Blizzard.
Mhm.
You know what's interesting? Nintendo's not on this list. It's not in the top 10. NetEase makes more game revenue than Nintendo. And I think this is not counting console sales. It's just counting game
that's why.
sales. Yeah.
That's insane.
Candy Crush makes more gaming revenue than all of Nintendo.
That can't be.
But Nintendo has to make all their money with the old model of selling games. Like they don't have that free-to-play cash cow going.
Yeah. I
To
think
their
missed-
detriment. They have the characters.
Well, they
have
do
like,
now.
stuff to do it.
Wait, what
Well-
do they have now? That's a cash cow.
Well, they don't have a cash cow. They have like Pokemon Shuffle and stuff.
But did they make any of those games?
They
Or did
just license those. They don't even.
They licensed it. Doesn't even count.
I thought
It's
they
like
made
the first.
Pokemon Shuffle.
I don't know.
I don't know Pokemon Shuffle, but I know a lot of their mobile games have been out. Have been licensed.
Well, there it is, guys.
You don't have
Nope.
those people dropping like $2,000 on Pokemon Blue to get like the fanciest Pokemon. So
Never
it's
mind.
kinda-
They did license it.
But how can a company like Nintendo be this dumb that they refuse to develop mobile games and instead they license their games to like Genius Sonority, the company that made Pokemon Shuffle? Like they have all these iconic franchises. They're not taking advantage of it. You can't license your game to a third party and hope it comes out with the same quality that you would if you do it yourself.
But
I-
guys, Pokemon Go is gonna have cross compatibility with all of the upcoming Pokemon games, which means that you're gonna be able to trade Pokemon between them. All 720. Oh my God.
Is that what they're up to now? 720?
Yeah.
Doesn't Digimon have way more? Like Digimon, does Digimon over 1,000?
No clue.
Digimon has too many.
I'm gonna say how many Digimon are there? Let's take a bet, boys. I'm gonna take a bet. Take a guess. Give me a number.
839.
Okay. Matt?
Well, you said over 1,000, so I'm gonna go with
I
1,000.
I don't know that. I just threw that out there.
I'm just saying over 1,000.
That's,
Alright,
that's not. Alright. 1,500.
All right. Somebody said 1,000 to 1,100. 1,200 is the correct answer.
Oh, what? No one even knows. It's like
They're around 1,200.
Mystery.
It's a
some
mystery.
of them have
No
yet
one's
to
gonna know
be
of them yet.
confirmed. It's like bugs in the rainforest. You know, we haven't identified all the species.
Yeah, I didn't
It's
give a
like
specific
Bitcoin.
answer because I already Googled it. I just Googled it while you were saying it. That's why I didn't want to give a specific answer.
Somebody said 87. No, you were way off. Somebody said
Burger
above
Mon.
1,200.
Oh my god, it is.
Burger Mon.
Wait,
They're
I have
getting really
to show you
creative.
this. Look at this. It is literally a little like Moogle basically with a burger hat.
No, it's a quality Digimon right here.
Here's the thing with Digimon and Pokemon: when you get over a certain amount, they become less memorable. The good thing about, again, maybe just my nostalgia talking, but the original Pokemon, like I knew every single Pokemon, and but
Yeah.
when you add so many more, no, you can't expect everyone to know every single Pokemon.
Yeah. We should do Pokemon Blue for Throwback Thursday.
It's.
I feel like it'll take too long.
Speedrunning game, yeah.
It's not a bad
You can go
Pokemon.
pretty fast, I think, if you're not if you're trying to just do it as fast as possible.
Really? All right. Well, Toby, all you got to do is win one, and then you can pick. Right now, it's Remo's turn because he is the winner.
Which one did you pick? It's 2 days till.
Probably Donkey Kong Country, the original.
For
Well, we're
SNES.
playing Donkey Kong Country on Thursday.
Nice, I
Yeah.
influenced Remo.
Tubby begged me to play that one, so I said okay.
Begged. I got on my knees, and he was like, "Fine."
He was like, he got his knees and said, "Baka, baka."
I hope you guys are enjoying this Clash Royale gameplay in the background here.
I'm loving it.
This is the future of
Yeah.
gaming right here. So get used to it, boys.
Yeah, this looks pretty interesting. Like, there's some strategy.
Is this a
going on
tower
here.
defense? What is this?
You get cards. You have mana. The cards are summons. You summon them in specific spots.
It's like Nexus Wars.
I was gonna say, you know, we have a really cool mobile game, Nexus Wars.
It's a
Yeah.
StarCraft mod. But are there some pay-to-win elements in this? I guarantee this mobile is some pay-to-win elements.
Obviously, you
Oh,
just pay, you get new units.
Yeah,
You
talking
better
about
cards.
talking about StarCraft mods. How come no game has been able to get a custom game scene like Warcraft 3 and like old Brood War?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Dota tried it for a
'Cause
while.
they didn't have any other options.
What are you talking about? StarCraft was so popular. Besides that, even besides
Because they didn't have any other options.
you like the
No.
modders had no options.
No,
They were
modern-
basically like the moddable RTSs of the time.
That's true. Like I feel like today, let's say you're some skill at programming or you have a good idea, it's easy to boot up Unreal or Unity for free, and make like a shitty little indie game rather than spend hours trying to make a decent mod. Maybe that's
But
why. I don't know.
If you look back at StarCraft, like that game spawned so many genres. Like, it popularized the tower defense genre. I mean, there were tower defenses before StarCraft 1, but the StarCraft 1 custom maps popularized that genre. They created the MOBA genre with Aeon of Strife. There was a map for StarCraft called Aeon of Strife, which literally was like the grandfather of MOBA games. And obviously, it took off more in Warcraft 3 with Dota. But like games like StarCraft and Warcraft have such a big impact on like game design almost.
You mean the impact of modders in StarCraft?
Yeah, of course, yeah. But why? Like,
Don't
somebody
give
should create a
Blizzard credit
game-
for that.
I'm not giving Blizzard any credit for that, but somebody should create a game that's not like they strip off all the single player and like the regular game. They should just make a game that's like an engine, a simple engine, like Unreal, but like way more simplified, but more complex than like RPG Maker and like with multiplayer elements. I think that could do really well. Just my 3 cents on that.
I was gonna say Dota tried to make custom games, but they didn't really get anywhere, from what I remember.
It was like the week that launched. It was all right. Like
Mhm.
Overthrow, whatever it was called, was pretty popular. They had a few popular ones, but like it hasn't taken off at all since then.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Even today, people still play Dota 1, and they play that Chinese Dota also on Warcraft 3. So I mean,
Last week, me and my buddy actually reinstalled Warcraft 3. We went on Battle.net, and there's still like so many custom games. Like,
did you play Footman Frenzy?
no, it's actually dead. There's like no more people who play it.
Rip Footman Frenzy, good times.
Yeah, Footman Frenzy is so fun. Just getting an overpowered hero and just like farming stuff.
I know. I remember if you random in Footman Frenzy, you had a chance of getting one of these 2 special heroes.
Yeah.
But most of the time you just end up with some Duke one you don't want, and you just like, time to leave and remake.
Like the first 5 minutes, like half people leave.
Like Torrent Chieftain was so owned. She just shockwave and kill like everything. He'd stomp, stun everything. His aura was really good.
Maybe
too.
one Throwback Thursday, we could do like Warcraft 3 custom maps. That'd be pretty fun.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah.
You ever play Island Troll Tribes?
Oh, I love that one.
Oh boy.
There was Arctic Troll Tribes. There's a few
Oh
of them.
yeah, that one was fun too. I liked all the Troll Tribe ones.
Mhm.
Yo, all right, we should do that one day. Just get a bunch of guys together, have an in-house Island Troll Tribe day.
Yeah, pretty fun. Times.
All right. Well, our time is wrapping up. Two quick things I want to throw out there. Well, one thing. Mighty Number 9 came out finally. It was like some Mega Man successor game.
There was some drama about that.
yeah,
I think Matt knows the drama. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the drama about it.
Well, I hear it's just not very good. I hear the gameplay is fine, but like none of the level design is good at all, and the enemy design is terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't. They promised too much in the Kickstarter, and they didn't deliver everything they said they would. And they raised a good amount of money.
Also, I'm pissed because the co-op mode, they have online co-op, and it's not like campaign. It's strictly challenge maps.
Anyway, the moral of the story is be very careful when you give money on a Kickstarter, and probably don't give money on Kickstarter.
The moral of the story is after that and that whole Red Ash Kickstarter, just don't trust Keiji Inafune.
There you go. I'm looking at the dislikes for like these trailers. And wow, there's a lot of hate on here.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, so I'm not gonna. I mean, I don't know all the drama behind it, but
Oh
there's a lot
yeah,
of
I forgot about that because I'm half asleep. I'm actually drinking coffee right now. Anyways, that's right. Keiji Inafune actually came out and said that the game that they released was better than nothing.
Huh. That's
Wow.
that's a reassuring
hate.
word.
Low standard, a low bar to beat, you know.
That's what he said. How insulting is that shit to all their Kickstarter backers?
Oh my god. Kickstarter platform where dreams are made, guys. Where dreams are crushed, and hype is sold.
I mean, you'd think it'd be easy to make a Mega Man style like indie game today. Like all you need is like 9 levels, right?
They
Each
do all
one-
the time. I mean, it's like 20XX is a Mega Man styled roguelike, I think.
Roguelike.
Nothing will beat Mega Man X in my heart. All right, Mega Man X, great game.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite games.
Yeah,
Good,
see,
uh,
it's funny, when I played the first level that they had for Mighty Number 9, I had some hope for it, but then I played the second level and it was pretty bad.
All the design effort went to the first level.
That's when I was telling you, they had the underwater level with the Pong playing mini boss thing. It was terrible.
You know, I hate underwater levels. They're always.
Well, Donkey Kong Country has one pretty early on, so get ready for that.
Luckily, that one's super easy. The first world. That game gets insanely difficult, so we're gonna have a lot of
So
frustration.
who's confident? Who's confident for Donkey Kong Country?
I know Tubby is. He said he's got at it.
No practicing. No practicing.
Every game. You know, no practicing allowed. That's ratty.
Yeah, no
Well,
practicing.
see, Cat's over here like, let me take over. I played the crap out of that one.
Oh yeah. All right. You guys can. You guys can.
tag team it.
You guys can take turns. Actually, you can tag team it. Remember?
Switch every death. Switch every death.
No, switch every monkey, because that's how co-op used to work in that game. Well, my brother and I used to do it. Like we each have one controller in our hand. One of us would be Diddy. One is the other one, and then if one dies, it switches controllers.
Yeah, Diddy is by far the better one.
Yeah,
Donkey
100%.
Slow
100%.
and clunky than Diddy's just ownage.
Donkey Kong's just like a gimp version. Like you have worse controls, slower, bigger hitboxes. Come on.
Yo, he can
Yeah,
jump on the
Donkey
big
Kong
alligators and kill him.
Country- Donkey Kong Country 2, like, yeah, DK sucks. We're going to give you female Diddy as your second character now.
You guys said, do you know about Divergence Online? Oh god, no, let's not go there.
All right. Well, again, we're running up on our time here, guys. Sorry we didn't cover more. Hopefully we will next time.
We'll talk a little bit in overtime too.
Yeah, we can talk in overtime. So if you're watching on Twitch, you're in luck. If you're on YouTube, check us out live next week. All right. Bye.
Later, YouTube.
So yeah.